Imagine this. You're working a full-time job at a company that is worth millions of dollars because of the work you have done. You're clocking in 40 plus hours a week, but when it is time to get paid, your boss looks at you and says, "You being employed here is your payment." Now you would say that this is wrong, and even unethical, that this could not happen. Yet millions of college athletes across the nation are facing similar circumstances as they spend hours working to win for the school without any monetary compensation. On top of being a full-time student, they are also faced with being a full-time athlete. They are bringing in millions of dollars to the university and are not getting paid a single penny to do it. As the college sports world continues to expand and evolve, student athletes should be paid because college athletes can provide for their families. The players might stay at the university longer. By playing college sports is time-consuming and expensive. I've always been interested in college sports for as long as I can remember. I have never realized how much money these athletes have brought into the universities, and I wanted to do more research on this and dig a little bit deeper to find a solution to pay college athletes. First, I will discuss how this will allow the athletes to support their families. Second, I will discuss how this could make the athletes stay longer. And lastly, I will discuss how playing college sports is so time-consuming and expensive. As the college sports world continues to expand and evolve, student athletes should be paid because college athletes can support their families, the athletes might stay at the university a little bit longer, and playing college sports is time-consuming and expensive. Athletes can help support their family if they get paid, and this can be very helpful to about every single family. According to census.gov, real median household income in the United States increased by 0.8% to $61,937 between 2017 and 2018. And walk-ons do not get the scholarships that don't get full ride scholarships like many of the other athletes. So they themselves or their parents are paying forward a lot of money, and they're paying the full tuition, and they're paying forward a lot of money. By getting paid, they can help for their college and give their family a portion of their money to help out. Many athletes have single parents. According to NCAA.org, about 49% of NCAA athletes have single parents. In some Division II schools, and basically all of Division III schools, do not offer scholarships, so the athlete or parent has to pay full tuition for their student to go to that college. And this can be tough for a single parent, as they might only be working one job. By paying these athletes, they can help their parents with these payments, and this will help them even more than if you have two parents. Now that I have talked about how it can help their family, I will now talk about how the athletes getting paid can lead them to staying at school longer. If athletes get paid, they would stay longer, in my opinion, because they are getting paid to play their sport. This would cause the graduation rate from these universities to increase. According to NCAA.org, about 88% of student athletes graduate. This is pretty good as of now, but by paying these athletes, and if they stay longer, the universities and the NCAA can get this percentage to 100%. So this is something to look at for sure. When the student athletes go pro, this decreases the graduation rate among the athletes in the universities. A lot of athletes are really good and decide to go pro after 1 or 2 years instead of staying and graduating. According to FIS.org, about 3 to 4% of athletes go pro instead of graduating college. there needs to be even less of these players going pro, because if they go pro and don't succeed in their respective sport, they don't have much of an education to get a really good job. Now that I have talked about how paying them can lead them to stay longer and increase graduation rates, I will finally talk about how being a student athlete is time-consuming and expensive. College athletics, as we all know, is very time-consuming and expensive, and athletes spend a lot of their time at college playing the respective sport. According to James G. Martin Center, the NCAA officially allows a maximum of 20 hours per week at practice, but it is more like 30 to 40 hours. This is like a regular work week for most people, and this is a good reason why we should pay them, because they are basically putting in a full work week without getting paid. It is expensive to play college sports. According to fee.org, 5 of the wealthiest conferences in sports shelled out a combined $125.5 million to fund their sports programs. By getting paid, they can pay back some money to the school if they want after they graduate. Today, I first discussed how paying athletes will allow their athletes to support their families. Second, I discussed how paying athletes will make them stay longer. Finally, I discussed how college athletics is so time-consuming and expensive, and how they should get paid for this. As the college sports world continues to expand and evolve, student athletes should be paid because college athletes can support their families. The players might stay at the university longer, and college sports is so time-consuming and expensive. We need to actually start paying these athletes for many reasons, just like how I stated above, how you would work a lot of hours, and when it is time to get paid, the boss says, you being here is your payment. And just like collegiate sports, you're just at college to play their sport and do school, and that's it. Thank you for listening.